Bubbles. Hi, and welcome to
Box Talk.
I'm Kim,
I'm Marcy.
and on tonight's episode we have Bubbles.
We do have
Bubbles. We're sitting outside.
Yeah.
It is, I think it's our 34th episode. I think. I'm not sure. I got to go look.
It is 30-something.
30-something. I knew that.
30-something, yeah.
So we're outside, and our producer is blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
But right now the wind isn't cooperating because they're blowing back into our face. See the bubbles? Bubbles. It's like Lawrence Welk. But we're not.
Because, not many people will know who that is.
I'll be surprised. Put in the comments if you know who Lawrence Welk is and why I mentioned them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is Box Talk, and what we do is we pick out topics from the box and we talk about them. So what we're going to do tonight is we have been on a little bit of a hiatus the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Marcy went away and has lots to talk about about her trip to the
Kentucky.
the many states that she went to.
10.
10. She went to 10 states.
Yeah.
And I would like to talk about our trip. We went out to Edmonton, and we had lots of fun.
Yeah.
So we'll do one topic, and then we'll
talk.
about other stuff.
Okay. Favorite recipe to make?
What's my favorite recipe to make? Does it have to be a recipe? Like a written recipe, or is it like just something that I make?
Something that you make.
Probably the recipe that I like to make that you throw together is probably like
Your seafood one?
well, that's really good.
That's really good.
It's a very expensive one, but I do like to make it.
Yeah.
You make it with cauliflower rice and all kinds of seafood and a little bit of cream cheese and a little bit of cream, and then you put it in a baking pan and put cheese on top, and then you bake it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I usually make that at Christmas time. Mm-hmm. But if I want to make something, if I want to throw something together, I will make cabbage rolls. Cabbage roll casserole.
That's good.
Yeah, so what I do there is I take a package of coleslaw. I brown some ground beef and a little bit of onion and put some seasoning in it.
Yeah.
And then I throw in the coleslaw, and I throw in some tomato paste and maybe a little bit of tomato sauce, and I let that simmer.
Yeah.
And then it's done.
And that's relatively low carb as well.
It's
so
low
that's
carb, and it's quick and it's easy, and everybody likes it. And it makes a really big pan of it.
Yeah.
A variation on that is an egg roll skillet.
Yeah.
Which is the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
You could use ground beef, you can use ground pork, or
yeah.
you can use a mixture, some ginger, and and maybe if you have some like a little bit of fish sauce, to put in it, with the cabbage and the carrots, and just mix them together.
Yeah.
The dog's going to. The dog is running around. He's tied up, so his lead is might move the camera.
Do you remember the egg rolls we used to make?
Yeah. So one of the things,
so good.
one of the things that we used to do, that Mom used to do a lot.
Yeah.
So when we were growing up, the big thing in the summertime was harvest and freeze.
Yes.
So Dad had a garden in the back, and they used to harvest all of the vegetables, the carrots, and the corn, and and the peas, and potatoes and stuff like that. Well, we didn't freeze potatoes, but but she did carrots for sure.
Yeah.
Corn, beans.
But do you remember actually making the egg rolls?
Absolutely.
With putting them in the grease and...
Yep. So one of the things that we used to do is, and this isn't like harvesting or anything, it's just kind of done around the same time.
Yeah.
We, kind of like stocking up your freezer.
Yeah.
We made homemade egg rolls. So Mom would, she would ground brown the ground pork.
And we ground it in one of those grinders that you hook onto the table.
Yeah. Right into the edge of the table, and that was.
Because I don't think they sold ground pork.
I don't think so. No. So we ground the meat, and we made the mixture, and we browned it. And then what we did, so this is what we did. The kids, when we were kids, we'd lay out all of the egg roll wrappers on the kitchen table, and then we would take water, and we would...
Was it water or egg wash?
Egg wash was on the other, like on the seam.
Seam, okay, yeah.
We would take, actually, I think it might have been egg wash with some water in it.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
If I recall.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'd go around and we would dip our fingers in the slimy goo, and we would trace around the squares.
Yeah.
Mom would scoop.
Yeah.
And then we would fold and
pinch.
Seal.
Yeah.
Pinch and seal the ends and the top, and then part of the process was, of course, we had to deep fry them.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like 95% done.
Yeah.
And then put them in the freezer. And then when we had Chinese, we would have our own egg rolls.
Yeah, they were so good.
They were very good. Yeah. Very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Much better than anything you buy.
Oh, absolutely.
By far.
Yeah.
So what recipe do you like to make?
I like making bread and rolls.
I like making bread too.
And cinnamon rolls. But for me, I like making the peanut butter cookies. The keto ones.
Yeah.
And then nobody else eats them. So that's good.
Cool.
But other than that, I like to cook in general. So
I used to. I've lost
that cooking feeling.
I've lost that cooking feeling. Whoa, cooking feeling. Yep, I have.
Yeah.
I just
understand,
because I'm busy and I'm just busy.
Well, and not only that, I mean, for the most part, we still eat together as a family. You guys eat all over the place, so...
And at different times.
Right.
You know, the kids will eat at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You know, make craft dinner at 11 o'clock at night. Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was your trip?
It was awesome. And, yeah, I don't think there was maybe one part that made me uncomfortable, but... Other than that, everything was really good. The drive was good.
So you drove from here.
Yeah.
So day one, you drove from here to...
Connecticut, Rocky Hill, Connecticut. And then we drove from Connecticut to Cleveland. It was a long drive day. And then, because we had a tasting at New Riff on the next morning. So it was only an hour and a half drive. New Riff is kind of, it's not in the same area as all the other distilleries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we enjoyed it, and I would say that was one of my favorite distilleries. It's a new distillery, and they do things a little different, but yeah.
What would be one thing that they do different?
Well, during the tour, they gave out little headphones.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a microphone, and we had little headphones in because it was loud. And then we get to keep the headphones.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
Cool.
And it was a very cool distillery. It was, although most of them were, because they're welcome centers, they're experience centers, they're, a lot of people come in and do this stuff.
They cater
more than
to
you
tourists.
think. And because every tour we were on was full.
Wow.
But I don't think I would do so many tours.
Now, where were the people from that you were touring with?
A lot of them were from the area. And they had people with them that were not. There were some from Ontario. And there were some from New Orleans. New Orleans. And I don't think there was anybody that was from overseas, though.
No?
No. But it was cool. But once you do one distillery tour...
Right. They're pretty much the same.
They're pretty much the same, except Old Forester, where they actually charred the barrels.
That would have been cool to see.
It was very cool, because they build their own barrels. And they're one of the few distilleries that actually do. Most of them get them from other places.
So I find that very interesting because, like, how many times does a cask kind of, like, if it's a, for example, if it's a sherry cask,
Yep.
well, it was a sherry cask for, what, 10 years or
Yep.
whatever it was, and then the whiskey people take it, and it's a, whatchamacallit cask.
Right.
Like it's whiskey in a sherry cask.
But it can't be bourbon, because bourbon can only be in a
the original,
new barrel.
original barrel.
No, it can be double barreled. You can take it out of one barrel and put it in a brand new
Is that
one.
what double barrel means?
Yeah. So really, a bourbon in a barrel is only, like, you can only get so many years out of a barrel. It can only sit there for so long,
Right.
until you're not really getting any of the flavors. So a lot of them take it out of that barrel and put it in a new charred barrel and get new flavors.
The
So,
barrel sucked out.
pretty much, yeah. And they are not allowed to reuse the barrels, so they send a lot of those overseas.
To do what with?
They use them, and they put, like, wine, or they put other spirits in them
That
and-
aren't
that are
intended-
finished in a bourbon barrel kind of thing. But
Cool.
you cannot put bourbon in a used barrel.
So you also went to Nashville.
Went to Nashville, and it was good, but it was the 4th of July, so I thought it was kind of cool that they had fireworks for our anniversary.
The whole country does,
Well, for our anniversary, it's pretty cool.
I know.
Anyway, it was very peoply, and we kind of met up with the band that was playing at one of the bars we were at,
Okay.
and they hung out with us, and they promised to get us up to a good viewing spot for the fireworks. Anyway, I kind of got a sketch feeling from them, so we left. Yeah. And then we took a pedicab. I think her name was Emma. She was fabulous. And she had the music blaring. We were listening to What Is Love?
Yes.
Driving through Nashville. We were only 18 minutes away from our motel, which was very nice, by the way, and reasonable, and the parking was reasonable, and we got to check in early.
Cool.
Yeah. So the whole experience was good.
Cool.
Yeah, I would definitely do it again. So how was your trip?
Our trip was good. Out west is definitely different from east. I've heard that, but it was my first time out there,
Yeah.
and we met some great people.
Yeah.
We got to see a lot of yellow land.
Yes.
the canola. It looks like somebody took a yellow highlighter and went.
Yeah.
It's so bright, and
it's just acres and acres and acres.
acres and acres, and I
Yeah.
couldn't place until we came back what was the big difference, and it wasn't so much the flatness, although that is a big difference.
Yeah.
But I think the big difference was the absence of so many trees, because there's so
Yes.
many trees and forests here
Yeah.
that just the places that we were, and we weren't in a very big radius, so it's not like we saw, a great amount of places, but
Yeah.
the place that we were at was kind of, that we spent most of the time was between Edmonton and Calgary, and it was very flat. The roads were very straight, and they drive very fast.
Yeah.
And there was just the only trees that you saw were trees that were kind of on the border of land. So there were squares, right? And there would be
Right.
trees separating,
Kind of like a fence.
kind of like a fence, but
Yeah.
they were just like single file trees. And I'm like, wow, okay. But when we landed,
Yeah.
I looked down while we were landing and went, the trees. That's why it's not so flat. Because it was all these trees. But yeah. So that was cool. And I met some really, really nice people.
Yeah.
And got to drink around a big bonfire, and got to watch a storm come in. Got to watch a storm on the horizon with the lightning. That was cool. You did too.
Yes, you would have loved it.
I would have loved it.
Yeah.
I know. What else? We stayed in a little town called Lacombe,
Okay.
which was kind of nice because everything was within walking distance. So we kind of walked to, when we were there. But we spent a lot of time with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
So we were half there and half at the hotel.
Yeah.
But what was the thing? You could see a lot of planes taking off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was a little airstrip there in Lacombe. Like,
Oh,
people who
wow.
actually owned planes had hangars in Lacombe. So
That's
that was
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The hotel was nice. It was, the beds were comfortable, and that's really, and the shower was good. So really,
That's all you really need, and it was clean.
and it was
right?
clean, yeah.
That's all you need.
So that's all you really need. So it was
Yeah.
great. We went to the West Edmonton Mall,
Oh yeah.
which was quite an experience because I didn't know what to expect, and everything is in the mall.
And you think mall is stores? It's not.
I know, and that's what I said to Alex too, and we both agreed. Like, at what point does it stop being a mall and it's like a
That's true.
town or a
Well, yeah, it's probably the size of a town.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot. We put a lot of. I think we walked over 12,000 steps that
That's
day.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really liked the pirate ship, and I really liked the sea lion in the middle of the.
Yeah.
He's so cute. And the penguin. We saw the penguin.
Aw.
Penguin's cute. Oh, and I got to meet two new dogs. They were
There you go.
cute.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh, not to interrupt, but yes, to interrupt. There was a cat in one of the distilleries.
it was probably a mouser.
Yeah, well, he was, but he was missing half an ear. I know. He was nice though. He was a calico, so
Oh,
very pretty. Anyway,
Cool.
go on.
I didn't see any cats.
But that was the only animal I saw. Well, except for the deer on the side of the road that were dead. But
We saw 2 deer. Did we?
were they
We saw
alive?
2. No, they were on the side of the road. Watched a truck go by.
Oh, but they were alive. They were
Alive.
okay. The ones I saw were
No.
DED.
These were alive. I would have seen a gopher if the dogs would have fished them out of the woodpile.
Oh.
But anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. It was good. It was
Yeah.
good, and I had a good time.
Good.
And the flights were good, except for the people on them.
Well, you can't help that.
I know. I love flying. I really do. I love the taking off.
me.
I love the flying. I love the views. I love all that. I love the landing even. I love all that.
I love the landing.
I
So
love
it means
the-
I'm getting off.
I love the turbulence. I love it all, except the people on the plane. Particularly ones that are under the age of 3.
Yeah. That
And there
happens.
was many.
Yeah.
Many. We had, on the flight home, I think we had 5 babies.
That's a lot.
And 3 of them were around us, like back, front, side.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't escape that. Yeah.
Anyway.
But
So next weekend.
next weekend, we are getting on the motorcycles, and we
Yay.
are going to PEI for a day and a half.
Are we shooting on Friday?
Oh, do you think we shoot on the bikes?
No.
No.
I didn't
You know
mean
what?
on the bikes. I meant at our cottage.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
We are going to a cottage.
We are
right?
going to a cottage, yes. And we could do box talk from the cottage. That would be
Yes.
awesome.
If
On,
our
on location.
on location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we
Yeah.
have enough room to put the...
Well, we have room.
You have room,
If
yeah.
you don't, we do.
Well, you're on a living room on wheels, so...
That's right. Apple.
Apple.
But anyway, we should wrap it up.
I think we'll wrap it up, and that's the end of the episode for this week.
Yeah.
And as always, we're running out of topics. We need suggestions. Also, I want to put out there that my new book,
Mm-hmm.
Stop Being a Narcissist,
No, that is the book title.
that's the book title, will be coming out on Amazon very soon, and I'm looking for people to be advanced readers. So if you'd like to be an advanced reader, please comment below, and I will set you up with an advanced copy of the book. And then when it's on Amazon, you can leave me a review. Yay. And it's not just for narcissists. So it's really a book that kind of talks about like awareness and how to act in relationships. But I think we all have a little bit of narcissistic traits to some degree. So if you're interested, please comment below, share with your friends, and like, subscribe. What else do we want you to do? Call to action.
And have a good night.
Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.